Hello, all. It's me here, Marcia. And, generally speaking, this would be chatting with Trifflin Brian. But I was on the computer about 2 hours trying to invite him into my room. And I kept getting the message that said, oops. Well, it didn't say oops, it just said something went wrong. Try rebooting your computer. So I did that about 10 or 15 times, and I kept trying to invite him, and to no avail. And so, you know what I did? I sent an email to um, Facebook. Yes, I did, because Facebook says, well, report a problem. How to report a problem. Go up to the top of the screen, hit help and support, then hit report a problem. And that's what I did. And I guess, I don't know. Maybe they got my message and fixed the problem. But after about 15 minutes or so, um, my computer said that it was a situation it had to shut down, and when I reopened, everything was back in place. But get this, I contact Brian. He's overseas, so we're like 8 hours difference. He already went to bed. Now I told him to get up, and I think he just sent me a message on my phone. But I'm already live, and so what Brian and I were going to talk about was that Brian actually, in fact, holds the world record for watching the replay of Roots. Yes. Every time I talk to Brian, he's watching Roots. Yes. And so I saw Roots, I think around 1977 ish. I was in middle school. Yeah, that was a real thing. But actually, when Roots played the first time, I tell you, everybody in the entire United States was watching it. Everybody. That was 100% of the population was watching Roots. And everybody was talking about it and, trying to, talk to each other and get along. I don't know if I ever saw the United States getting along so well. So, Roots is a good thing. I mean, I saw it back in the day, and then I saw Roots 2, and I hear that. Well, Brian and I, we're gonna pick up the conversation, so I'm not gonna get too much more into it. Some other aspects of Roots, but yeah. So I'm here flying solo. Hopefully, I think I'm supposed to be out working tomorrow off site, but maybe I can catch up and Brian and I could do a quick check in. Yeah. So that, and then another thing I had on, I usually have my television on when we first start and I turn it off. But I was watching the case of Ahmaud Arbery, and one thing about the case is it really, to me, my issue about it, it was just that the case was just dragging and dragging and dragging. I mean, they have the facts, they have the witnesses, they have the police reports. They were going through and they were cross-examining witness witnesses. I don't know how you can call this a witness, who were reading the reports of what happened. So they were interviewing the police officers and people who worked for the police department, investigators and stuff. Well, in the report, did you read that this happened and that happened and that happened? And I'm like, how could they even be spending time discussing this? Wouldn't you rather have testimony from an actual witness? What is reading the report going to do? Get the person who the report entails or who narrated the report and bring them on the stand. It's almost like they were just dragging this case out just to be dragging it out. That's what I saw. And I said, why do all these weird things happen in Georgia? I mean, can't they get to the point about anything? I mean, look, I'm from Portland, Oregon, so I can't even talk. I'm the last person who could talk about another state. But it just seems that Georgia just, man, mm, they just can't get across the street. Maybe they need an old lady to help them because it seems like it just takes forever for them to get anything moving. But, I'm not an attorney, but, I've watched enough Judge Judy. Now, that's who should be running the case because that case would already been decided. She gets her stuff done in about 15 minutes, you know? So, that's my impression, but I'm really sorry for that jogger because there really was another person in that neighborhood rifling around property and he was caught on tape and but the guys in my view shouldn't have gone after him so aggressively, you know. And yeah, cuz the guy on the videotape and the actual guy who was killed, Armad, I believe his name is, they did not look alike. They did not look alike. The only similarity were they were both black people. But I mean, the guy who was rifling around and stuff, he looked young, like a young, almost like a, I wouldn't say teenager, but a young person, maybe 19 or 20 years old. And this guy, he'd been an athlete, he'd done this and that and da da da. And the guys, they got that adrenaline. Man, you gotta watch that. They let it get the best of them. But I guess they're going to decide the case the way they are going to decide it. And the consequences for the actions will. But one thing that really got me was after the guy shot him, the police didn't pat him down, and they didn't check his car. They didn't check his house. They didn't do anything. They just said go home. And they let the man go home, and he wasn't arrested for several months. Now that's really weird. I'm not going to go into the racial aspects if it was the other way around or blah blah blah. Whatever the case may be, is when you commit a crime, you don't let people go home. And they just let him walk off like that. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. But I think people are getting burnt out on taking the black side or the white side or the whatever blah blah police side or the civilian side. I think people are getting burnt out, and I just hope eventually this whole system can just you know fix itself. Eh? So anyway, that's my take. I won't stay on too long. Brian and I were going to try to catch up tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, or we have to wait until next Monday or Tuesday. But we will be back. That's for sure. That's going to happen. All right. And yeah, just a quick check in. If you've got any questions or anything you want to talk about, just let me know. I even do makeup tutorials and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll talk more. I want to hear from you, and be safe out there. And thanks for watching. Until next time, we will chat again. See ya.